to Take It from the Ironwoman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Ironwoman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Ironwoman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Ironwoman. We have spoken to Asteria before. She is this lovely lady from Bolivia. I met her in New York. She's a running coach, but she's also an amazing runner. And we want to hear more of her amazing story and probably we'll say magical story. Thank you so much, Asteria, for including us in your story. Keep going, please.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you, Susan. You know, I think you are the exactly point, because if you weren't in there and we wouldn't be talking and you wouldn't be knowing about the experience we go through, so many people around. Sometimes we said, oh, why me? But we don't realize that is our point and we don't know what's going on in another person near us. Could be good, could be bad. Yeah. Always I said, all those obstacles I went through, and they opened my way to where I am right now. It makes me very strong and always says, and I have to just keep going because I decided this kind of life.
As a running coach, you and I both are running coaches. We get a lot of compliments from others and they say, oh, you told me this was so good. And sometimes I don't even remember what I said. It's something very special, magical. I use that word again, that we do for other people.
Definitely it's magical because you don't realize who is the person. And suddenly, and I went through on the subway one day and always remember that when I got in a car and it was crowded. No way to sit down or a little far away, the end of the car. That guy is so handsome. And changing the thoughts from bad thought to good thoughts. Always I do that. I don't stay long time in a bad situation. And I said, he's very handsome. And he looks like he's physically very fit. And then suddenly the guy touched me on the shoulder. And he said, Coach Asteria, remember me? When I look up to the side, it was the guy who I said, very handsome guy. I said, oh my God, who are you? Honestly, I don't remember. He says, I remember 10 years ago, you were my coach in Team for Kids. And always I remember you used to remind me, head up, don't look down, shoulders back. That was so a big compliment.
Tell us how you got to this from your little town in Bolivia to New York, the big city.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And when I look back, I said, I wish I can be now 6-year-old with the thoughts I have on me because I can do a lot of stuff. When I was in Venezuela in 1994, I was running just track over there on the master's track team. Nothing to do with long distance there, but I met a group of people they used to come to run New York City Marathon every year. And they used to tease me, oh, Asteria, you should run the marathon. I used to tell them, no, long distance for me is not. I don't like long distance. And then it came another runner from the group, which he says it was a little like a jealousy or something. He says, oh, I see you all the time in newspaper. Everybody knows you in the city. But I bet you, if you go to New York City to run the New York City Marathon, you don't gonna be able to get it halfway. And I have to go back and carry on my shoulders to cross the finish line. I look at him and I took it like a joke. But the others from his group, they said, Asteria, you should bet him because we know you can finish the marathon and you can beat him. But I'm not going to mess up with him. I don't want to pay attention. I don't like long distance. one day, casually, there was a guy which I met recently, and he says, Asteria, you should do it because I know you are a good runner. I work in the Polar. Polar is the company of beer in Venezuela, very well known. And he says, party, we want to have drinks. Okay. I said, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to run the New York City Marathon. You're going to let me know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show him that I can beat him. That was the deal. And, I didn't work really too much in long distance. I came to New York. It was everything set it up like a magic. Everybody, they were having problems to get a visa to come to USA. I went to the embassy and they gave me the visa without any problem. I got it like going to the store, give me bread, but I never have money to buy the ticket. No ticket, and the marathon, it was coming soon. What I did is my mom gave me chain, and with the earrings, the ring, everything, it was with the pearls. A guy says, my wife's birthday is very soon. You can give me that, all what you have, and I'm going to get the ticket. Because at that, it was very expensive jewelry. Mm-hmm. But the ticket by then, it was $300. Mm-hmm. But no idea for me to come like that. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay. I switched the jewelry for the ticket. I never had a hotel room. But I said, if I have to sleep on the park, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. But I want to go. And I came on the airplane. We were like 600 people coming from Venezuela to run the New York City Marathon. And one girl came and says, which hotel you are? I said, I don't have room in a hotel. And said, what are you going to do? I don't know. If I have to sleep on the street, I'm going to do it, but I want to run the marathon. She says, no worries. My room, I have a room and you can stay with me. And are you sure? I say, yeah. She said, you can come. That's the way I got it, New York. And I ran the marathon, and you know what? I beat the guy.
Sure.
I was the first person finishing from the group. I was so happy. And when we went back to Venezuela, everybody was so happy. We had a big party. Actually, it was like a long party. And everybody was bringing food. And the guy who did the bet with me, and he never came back to running anymore. Yeah, it was so ashamed. But during the marathon, I was saying to myself, God, I wish I can come back to USA. If you give me, it was like that. If you give me the opportunity to come to USA, I promise I'm going to run many times the New York City Marathon. But it was a simple thought. We can thought and say, I want to win the lotto. I was in Venezuela months later, and the economy went down. It's when Chavez got into the presidency, the economy went bad. And I went back to Bolivia, but I was not feeling good in Bolivia. And the economy was worse than in Venezuela. And they invited me for a cross-country race for Masters. And I went over there and I won the race. And the guys, the people, they said, Asteria, you should go to USA. They're going to have the world championship for Masters. You going to get the visa if you represent Bolivia. I said, are you sure? And they said, yes. I said, I'm going. And that is the reason I put it in my mind to come, not to run the marathon and to run the cross country, which is the first day of the inauguration, 8 kilometers. And I said, I want to run just the cross country. Because the marathon is the last day, I said, okay, I'm going to just put it in case the marathon. And that is the way I came to New York City, to Buffalo. That was in July 1995. Everybody knew in my city that I'm going to come to the World Champions, and they used to ask me what to think. And one time I told one friend, I said, if I go to New York, I like New York, I'm going to stay there. I'm not going to come back to Bolivia. Mm-hmm. And my friend told that to the president of the federation. And the president of the federation, he called to the Olympic Committee and told them, Asteria's plans is stay in New York. Please don't give the visa. And 2 days before the flight, I got a news that I'm not coming to New York. And I said, oh, no, that is not good. I had a ticket. I had everything set it up, and only the visa was the problem. I called to the office, to the Olympic Committee, and I find out that the president of the office It was one of my teachers from college in track and field. And I said, Lucio, what happened? I never got the visa. And he said, he told me, he said, Asteria, they called me and they said, you decided to stay in New York. That's why runners, which they come out from Bolivia, they cannot stay. They have to come back. Yeah. And I said, but I was joking. I told him, I was joking. I don't speak English. I don't have money. I don't have relatives over there. What I'm going to do? Here I have my job. I have my family. And just I have to come back. And he says, are you sure you're going to come back? Yes, I said, I'm coming back. Come immediately and I'm going to get the visa for you. Yeah, I took the bus, 12 hours, the bus, and he got the visa. And in all those going back and forth, it took me almost 5 days. I missed my race, the cross country. But I said, I'm going to go. And I came to the USA and JFK. And a lady from Bolivia, which is no runner, she was waiting for me. And she helped me to get the bus to Buffalo. Took me to the Port Authority. And I went all night to Buffalo on the bus. I was scared. Nothing to eat, nothing to drink. I was just suffering. But the driver from the bus, he was just looking at me on the mirror. The driver is looking me too much. And I was making me feel more nervous. And when we got at the terminal in Buffalo, all the passengers, they came to pick it up. I was only me standing on the terminal. And it was 4 a.m. The guy came to me and he asked me questions, but I said, no English. That was my answer. He saw to those pay phones, remember, it used to be in boxes. Yeah. And he showed me, he says, probably he was asking me if I have any number. He looked at numbers and I gave the phone number from the lady who waited for me at the airport. And he called her in the morning. And the lady told him that I was coming to compete on the world champions and if he can help me. And the guy looked at me and then he says, he asked me with the hands, like if I have passport or something or book. And I show my passport, and which on the passport it was a big stamp, World Championship Masters. Oh. And he called the police. The police came and he spoke with them. And then he called to somebody else. A lady came in a car. And the guy, the driver with the lady, they took me to the college, which it was the place where all the runners, they were sleeping. I got at the place at 6 a.m. And he went to the office and he says, I want you to be in charge. Probably you have translators. And they say, yes, we have translators. And it came a lady and he asked me in Spanish what I was doing. And I explained her that I missed the cross country, but my name was for the marathon too. And a lady came and says, yes, here your number, quick, because the bus is leaving to the start line in 30 minutes in Spanish. I ran to the room. I looked for my running shoes and the shorts, and I went to the bus. Still no breakfast, no dinner.
No sleeping.
No sleeping. But in my mind, I was saying, I have to finish. I have to do it. Even though I'm going to crawl, but I have to pass the finish line. Everybody, we were on the start line. It started to rain so hard. We started, I was just drinking the water. Mm-hmm. And I was talking myself, well, this water is blessed water, is coming straight from the sky. Yeah. That is going to give me energy. I'm going to finish. And I finished the marathon. But as soon as I passed the finish line, I said, I can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. And they give me oranges, fruits, all those things. And then I was alive again. I was so excited. And then I said, I have to go back. I'm going to stay in New York. I'm not going back to Bolivia. I love New York.
Take it from the Ironwoman. What a very cool story. What an inspiration. Be positive. Anything works when you are positive. Take it from the Ironwoman. We have episodes every Monday, every Wednesday. There is something for everybody. We hear from runners, we hear from entrepreneurs, people with great stories. What are you taking away? Thank you for chiming in. Listen on your preferred platform. Thank you.